Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. That's the answer. This is the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we are going back to 1994 and checking out Interview with the Vampire. All I know about this one is that it has Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in it. And I don't know, I guess it's maybe got some memes out there, but this is a first-time watch for me. I'm excited for this one.
I have seen it. I rather enjoyed it. And I am definitely ready, willing, and able to see how Appleton Oak and Mason Quinn here also enjoy it.
Yeah, I never kept it much of a secret here on the channel. Wasn't always into the vampire stuff. A huge fan of Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. However, at this point, I just feel like who can challenge, Jacob and Edward.
Oh, so, I thought you were going to say Blade.
Yeah, heard nothing but good things about it.
We'll see if these MFers can skate uphill. So let's go!
That's Christian Slater.
Really? KFRC? You seem very interesting. Oh, what do you say we get started?
No.
So, what do?
I'm a vampire.
See? Doesn't sugarcoat it one bit.
You mean this literally, I take it?
Absolutely. I was waiting for you in that alleyway, watching you, watching me.
What a lucky break for me.
Perhaps lucky for both of us.
What were you gonna do? Kill me, drink my blood, all that stuff?
Yes. Let me begin this way. Let me turn on the light.
I thought vampires didn't like the light.
We love it. I'm frightened. I want this opportunity. I'm flesh and blood, but not human. I haven't been human for 200 years. Shall we begin like David Copperfield? I am born. I grew up. Or shall we begin when I was born to darkness, as I call it?
Is this like legit an interview with a vampire? It's a pretty literal title.
1791 was the year it happened. I was 24, younger than you are now, the master of a large plantation just south of New Orleans.
New Orleans, that's where it always goes
I had
down.
lost my wife in childbirth. I would have been happy to join them.
For some reason, I thought this took place in Europe. I'm so used to all the vampire stories, just thinking it's going to be in Romania, Transylvania.
Maybe it does part of it.
I wanted to lose it all. My wealth, my sanity. I'm calling you a piece of stinking offal. You lack the courage of your convictions, sir. Do it. Most of all, I longed for death, a release from the pain of living.
Wait a minute. Is that who I think it is?
I'd know that brooding walk anywhere.
Well, I wouldn't have guessed if it wasn't for the poster, if I'm being honest.
Give me your money or you die.
Oh!
There he is! Whoa, he's flying?
What is going on here? They're legit flying.
Do you still want that? Or have you tasted it enough? Enough.
Oh.
He left me there on the banks of the Mississippi.
Who are you? What are you doing in my house? Life has no meaning anymore, does it? What if I could give it back to you? Pluck out the pain and give you another life, and it would be for all time, and sickness and death. I'm going to give you the choice I never had.
That morning, I was not yet a vampire, and I saw my last sunrise. I watched the whole magnificence of the dawn for the last time. As if
Look at that shot of Brad Pitt, Oak.
Oh, 12 out of 10 handsome.
Yeah.
And that hair?
Mm-hmm.
Get it.
it set out to become what I became.
Oh, those old Gothic cemeteries.
Well, I'm kind of getting some Arthur Morgan vibes here a little bit. with
That's with
the
you
setting
and,
and
oh, I was gonna say that's with you in control and the hair tonic.
Said your goodbyes to the light.
So how did he not get him the first time?
I think he maybe has to choose to do it to turn him.
I've trained you to the point of death.
Okay.
If I leave you here, you die. Or you can be young always, my friend.
Oh, so he bit him, but he's got to drink the blood in order to.
Oh, you got the heartbeat going.
No slushy bottle there.
Oh,
This could be a meme for when you're drinking in your 40s.
that's about it.
Everybody's dying. Pay no attention.
Oh, look how they did the eyes.
His teeth came in.
Now look with your vampire eye.
They're gonna show us what he sees. I hope they do.
Interesting.
It's pretty wild.
What did you see?
No words can describe it. The statue seemed to move, but didn't. The world had changed, yet stayed the same. I was a newborn vampire weeping at the beauty of the night. Perhaps you'd like another cigarette?
What about crucifixes?
Actually, I'm quite fond of looking at crucifixes.
Coffins. How about coffins?
Coffins, unfortunately, are a necessity.
You'll be sleeping as soundly as you've ever slept. I'll be waiting for you, and so will all the world.
Get a little claustrophobic here.
Blood, I was to find, was a necessity as well.
Get that tongue out of the way. I'm after your neck.
Doctor, what about me?
I will not take her life.
I've done it for you.
It's so easy. You almost feel sorry for them. You get used to killing.
There's Sandy.
He could eat the whole colony.
Oh,
Let's finish it, event. Now leave us.
Such fine crystal shouldn't go to waste.
Jesus Christ, he's wringing out a rat.
oh, yummy.
I know.
Not as good.
It gets cold so quickly. Wouldn't call it living. Call it surviving.
But we can live without taking human life. It's possible.
Anything is possible. Come into New Orleans.
Yeah, the Cullens did it with deer and mountain lions and whatnot. So, I mean, it's possible, right?
Yeah.
Lestat killed 2, sometimes 3 a night.
The trick is not to think about it. She had that gorgeous young fop murder her husband.
How do you know?
Read her thoughts.
Oh, now we get some vampire training.
She blamed a slave for his murder. Evildoers are easier, and they taste better.
Enchanté.
See Tom just behind him. Looking back.
The subtitle said
Subtitles.
arf, arf, arf. It didn't say dog barking.
No.
Hey,
There you
ARF.
go.
Where are we going?
Easy with that thing.
Nowhere.
I'm old enough to be your grandmother.
Oh! Oh!
Oh,
Could have finished us both.
Oh, that's more like it. You're
Yes, let the hate flow through you.
Rats, chickens, poodles. I'll leave you to it and watch you come around.
Oh,
Jesus.
going to town.
Jesus.
Wow, these guys are really going for it.
Paris, a vampire, must be clever for many reasons.
You came from Paris?
Hastik, the one who made me. I wasn't given a choice, remember?
But you must know something about the meaning of it all.
Why should I know these things? We've been in the country for weeks with nothing but that noise.
They watch us dine on empty plates.
Come to New Orleans, then.
Forgive me if I have a lingering respect for life.
You'll soon run out of chickens, Louis.
Those are easy to get.
Yeah.
I can get you chicken.
I can get you
Hey,
chickens.
Get you some chickens.
Monsieur Louis, you don't want any supper, no? We're worried about you, master. Everywhere there is death. Are you still our master at all?
It will be all of it.
I will not go unless you listen to me.
Oh boy.
The slaves, they're all frightened of him. And they're frightened of you.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Oh.
Oh, oh boy.
This place is cursed, damned, and yes, your master is the devil. Get out while you can. You are all free men.
Oh, there goes that.
Yep. Oh, he could see himself in the mirror. There goes that theory.
Oh.
Just through the window.
I was living in a field like cattle.
You thought you could have it all.
Oh, shut up, Louis.
Oh.
Where are we?
We're in a nice, filthy cemetery. Does this make you happy? Is this fitting?
Look at him smile.
Tom is crushing this.
There was a hell, and no matter where we moved to, I was in it. We rented rooms on the waterfront of New Orleans.
I can warm that cold skin of yours better than she can.
Do you think so?
He just bite right through the dress.
Believe he did.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Just Pitt comes walking in.
Should we put out the light? And then put out the light. Once put out
His
the
hair's looking pretty glamorous here. Brad Pitt's. Luis.
Who are you, Louis? You can pretend it's one.
She's not dead.
You're in love with your mortal nature. It was just the one thing that could bring you peace.
Then take her, Louis, and not hunger. No.
You want to sleep.
What's that one?
It's a coffin.
Well, so it is. You must be dead.
Don't let me go. I can't die like this.
End her suffering. And yours.
No.
Are you happy, Louis?
My God. To thank you. All I have to learn from.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's not good.
Well,
They called it the dark gift, but I gave it to you.
Oh,
there's a buffet.
yep. All the ratsies he could want.
Don't go that way, monsieur. It's the plague.
He's gonna feed on plague bodies. No guilt. They're already passed.
I guess.
Good transition for him.
Oh,
Ugh.
look who it is.
Very young.
Well, 1994.
Please help us. Paul left us and didn't come back.
That's Spider-Man's job.
This calls for a celebration.
Oh my gosh. Tom is enjoying this way too much.
You are what you are!
Merciful death. Her blood coursed through my veins, sweeter than life itself. I knew peace only when I killed.
Well, there's some more rats for you, buddy. I was waiting for him to come back.
All I need to find you, Louis, is to follow the corpses of rats. Do what it is in your nature to do. I have a gift for you.
What did he do?
You need company, Louis. You remember how you wanted her, the taste of her.
I thought I'd killed her.
Don't worry, Louis. Your conscience is clear.
Shouldn't be.
Claudia, you're ill, my precious, and I'm going to give you what you need to get well.
No.
You want her to die then?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least it's not the
This is
palm
not
of the hand.
Palm of the hand, yeah.
Stop. Stop.
Yeah, don't the young ones become uncontrollable when they get turned?
Well, according to Twilight,
Yeah.
the newborns
Yeah.
have a harder time controlling their impulses. Oh, her hair got curly.
I want some more.
Of course.
Vous m'avez appelé, monsieur?
Oh, he ended her pretty fast.
Gently, Shaggy. That's enough. You must stop before the heart stops. You're mine and Louis' daughter now. He's going to go away. Now he's going to stay and make you happy.
Smile with all the blood in her teeth.
You fiend. One happy family.
Family.
Family. Oh, he has. Don't worry, he's got a whole bag of tapes.
Yeah.
He did it to make you stay with him.
Perhaps. But there was more to it. Perhaps in the end he did it because he was lonely too.
I shall go blind if you do not bring me another lamp.
Too late.
I am afraid, madame, my days are sacrosanct.
I need a dictionary.
Uh-oh.
Kiss her better.
Oh, boy.
That one got me to jump.
God, the best was when
Claudia.
Bella got the
Claudia!
paper cut and Jasper had to just...
Remember, never into a poem.
She slept in my coffin at first, till the day came when she wanted one of her own. But still, whenever she awoke,
avoiding
she
the
would
light.
crawl into mine. They found death fast in those days, before she learned to play with them.
Why are you crying, child? Are you lost, my love?
He's got a cane.
Oh boy.
Oh, Marshall.
Oh, look at Tom back there. Like
Proud
a proud father.
That little digit.
They're expensive, my dear. Maybe too expensive for a young girl like you.
What have we told you?
Never in the house.
Is this supposed to have this much comedy in it?
I don't know what
Oh, a
to
little
think of
bit,
this
a little
movie.
bit.
I don't know what to think of this movie.
Wonderful. Now try something on a more somber note.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, just tearing through Louisiana.
The years flew by like minutes. The city round us grew.
Don't you want her?
I want to be her.
I swear you grow more like Louis every day. Soon you'll be eating rats.
When did you eat rats, Louis?
It was a long, long time ago. And I don't recommend them. 30 years had passed, yet her body remained that of an eternal child.
Oh. Because that's how old she was when she changed. Oh, that's wild.
Another doll? I have dozens, you realize. You always give me a doll on the same night of the year. Is this my birthday?
In a way. Whoa, that's
Whoa, there's a head in there.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
What have you done?
What you told me to do! I wanted to meet her!
She's not! This is the very house we live in!
Claudia, don't.
Why not?
Oh.
Oh, double doors.
Yep.
Which one of you did it?
Oh, it came back.
It came right back.
Yeah.
You made us what we are, didn't you?
Stop her, Louis.
Oh.
Oh.
How did you do it? What should I tell you? Be glad I made you what you are.
You'd be dead now if I hadn't.
Oh. I wasn't expecting it to get that intense.
Oh.
You see the old woman? That will never happen to you.
She'll never ever grow up. I hate him. Tell me how it came to be that I am this thing.
Oh, you started it, bruv.
Mm-hmm. Well, Louis started it.
Louis got some explaining.
You fed on me.
And he cut his wrist, and he fed you from him. I took your life. He gave you another one.
And I hate you both.
Wow.
I mean,
Walked all night. Thought of all the things I'd done. Couldn't undo.
Locked together in hatred. But I can't hate you, Louis. Louis, my love. I was mortal to you. You gave me your immortal kiss.
Yeah.
You became my mother and my father. Now it's time to leave him.
You will never let us go.
No.
What's she up to?
You're spoiled because you're an only child. You need a brother.
I suppose we could people the world with vampires.
Oh, not you. My little Claudia.
I came to make peace with you, even though you're the father of lies. I've brought a present for you.
And I hope it's a beautiful woman with endowments you'll never possess.
Yeah.
You haven't fed enough. I can tell by your color. Don't be angry with me. When I saw them, I knew they were for you.
Well, you certainly have outdone yourself.
I promise I'll get rid of the bodies.
Oh.
We forgive each other then?
Yes.
What has she got set up here?
She lace them with garlic?
I was gonna say, are they poisoned or?
You were giving them medicine.
No, laudanum. I killed them, unfortunately. But it keeps the blood warm.
You let me drink dead blood? Put me with my coffin.
I'll put you in your coffin!
Oh! Whoa!
Whoa!
Good night, sweet prince.
Oh.
Should we burn him? What would he have liked, Louis?
Well, that took a turn I wasn't expecting.
Didn't see that coming. One bit. Didn't. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Tom.
What swamp is it?
Lestat's not looking good.
What swamp is this? It looks like
in the bayou.
It's like
a
some
fantasy swamp.
Belongs with those reptiles, Louis.
Put him in a swamp and gators get him. Oh, there it was.
Yep.
We were like two orphans learning to live again. We booked passage to Europe. Over the weeks while we waited for the boat to arrive, she studied the myths and legends of the old world, obsessed with the search for what she called our kind. Look, I forgot.
We're not going to eat these guys, are we?
Let's set them free.
is Lestat going to be back somehow?
He's going to be back. He made it.
Oh,
there he is.
How could it be?
Ask the alligator. His blood helped. Then on the diet of the blood of snakes and all the putrid life, Lestat became something like himself again.
Oh. Oh. Does fire do it?
Apparently it does.
Well, it's not helping.
I mean, is he
I wasn't
just
aware
going
of
to
that.
heal again, though?
Oh, he's climbing on the ceiling.
The ship is sailing without us.
Though the fire seemed to spread through the quarter,
Burn the
I
house
stood
again.
on that deck, fearful he would come out again. And all the while I thought, we deserve your vengeance. You gave me the dark gift. And I delivered you into the hands of death for the second time. Though the ship was blessedly free of rats, a strange plague nonetheless struck its passengers.
Imagine that.
We searched village after village, ruin after ruin, country
Nice.
after country. And always we found nothing. I began to believe we were the only ones.
You said you found nothing?
Peasant rumors, superstitions about garlic. The old stake in the heart. Paris, September 1870. I was Creole after all, and Paris was the mother of New Orleans. We were alive again. And so euphoric was I that I yielded to her every desire.
Oh.
Wanted a fancy dress? She gets a fancy dress.
Fancy dress and a lot of snacks.
I don't think she's got to worry about him.
Yeah.
Remember, they don't
When
want
I'd
to eat.
given up the search for
People
vampires.
Oh, yeah, snacks.
That a vampire
Snacks.
found me.
Who found him?
Wait a minute. That's not Antonio.
No. What is this, a Looney Tunes?
Santiago.
Oh. There he is.
Holy shit. I don't think I've ever seen him with hair that long.
I've searched the world for an immortal, and this is what I find.
Well, if you were looking for a who's the hottest of the hot in the mid-90s, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, and Antonio Banderas.
No one will harm you. I won't allow it. And remember my name, Armand.
Armand.
Look, he doesn't have a guitar case full of weapons.
They'll have different powers. They'll read your thoughts if you let them.
So that's supposed to be pleasing?
Two lovers wandering down the violet way, whose passionate embraces each to each permit no meditations on decay until they find themselves within my reach.
No!
Vampires who pretend to be humans pretending to be vampires.
What have we here? A rose in bloom, a shrinking violet.
She really doesn't know what's going on, does she?
No, I think she does.
We all die.
Monsieur Vampir, take me! I adore you!
You with your tongue. You know what it means to be loved by death?
Oh, Armand.
There he is.
Monsters.
Are they going to eat the whole audience?
We live beneath. Let me show you. Welcome to my home. Try him. Two vampires
From the new world. Are you the leader of this group?
If there were a leader,
I would be the one.
Oh, Antonio.
What are we? Nothing, if not vampires. Who made us what we are? The source. All this evil. I saw you in the theater. Your sympathy for that girl. You die when you kill. You feel you deserve to die and you stint on nothing. Then there is nothing? Perhaps. And perhaps it's the only real evil left. And as far as I know, after 400 years, I am the oldest living vampire. The place was empty as we left, and as we blundered through it, again came the thought, I have wronged Lestat.
How did you wrong him?
Oh, he read his mind.
Said a name. There is but one crime among us vampires here. It's the crime that means death to any vampire.
Uh-oh.
He wants you as you want him. He's been waiting for you.
Be all right.
You really believe that?
Soldier, on returning from the wars, thinks victory has inured him against sorrow.
Jesus.
She's in danger, isn't she? She is. Her silence, her youth. It's forbidden to make one so young. If you want to save her, send her away. Then I leave too. So soon? Without any of those answers you so longed for. You said there were none, but you asked the wrong questions.
So you think you have the answers. I changed the questions.
Do you know how few vampires have the stamina for immortality? The world changes. We do not.
Yeah, I suppose he's been around 400 years.
I need you to make contact with this age. The vampires in the theater. They can't reflect anything. But you do. You reflect its broken heart. Vampire. The human soul. An immortal with a mortal's passion. Lestat must have wept when he made you. Knew him well enough not to mourn his passing. I had found the teacher which Lestat could never, I knew now, have been.
Madeleine, Louis is shy.
Oh, did she turn her? She did.
She must have.
Drink.
You have found your new companion, Louis. You will make me mine.
Do you have any idea of the thing you will become?
You're evil, Stitch. You cannot be evil. I haven't tears enough for what you've done to me. You give her to me, Louis. Do this before you leave me.
What do you think she is, Madeline?
A child who cannot die.
A child who did die.
My daughter.
Well, is he gonna do it? Yep.
Louis, what's happening to her?
She's dying. It's only mortal death. We are now even. What died in that room was not that woman. What has died is the last breath in me.
It's time for justice, little
Oh boy, here we go. Armand is not happy.
Death for the others. For you, eternity in a box. The only company will be your screams.
I got a lead-lined coffin. Wow, okay.
Well, that got intense real fast. I didn't have any clue what was going to happen, but certainly didn't expect that. Oh, yep. Sunlight.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
I wonder if they can tuck in one corner and rotate throughout the course of the day.
I don't know.
Probably not at noon when it's straight up.
I suppose at some point, be right over to the top of them.
Oh, maybe they are able to dodge it. Oh, nope, not at all.
Where's Claudia?
Claudia.
I can't save her. Claudia!
Oh.
Come, Louis. Not here.
Oh, he wants some vengeance.
So a vampire can't cry. Once. Maybe twice in his own eternity. Maybe it was to quench those tears forever that I took such revenge on him.
Oh, there we go. All right. Look at us. All right.
Oh, down their sewers. Their dungeons. Oh, he's going to get them all.
While they sleep.
Oh,
that bro just flew out.
Slingshot.
He's that's the third thing he's burned. I think he's got a little bit of a problem.
There's his friend.
Yep.
Oh! Tried being super fast. That didn't really work.
I didn't see that one coming.
Cut him in halvesies.
Wow.
Eh.
Well,
like a
three-quarters.
Eh. Well, is it morning?
Well, it's getting there.
Louis!
They had forgotten the first lesson, that we must be powerful and without regret.
And you can teach me this?
Yes.
But what if it's a lesson I don't care to learn? What if all I have is my suffering? My regret?
Don't you want to lose it?
So you can have that too. The heart that mourns her, her that you burnt to a cinder.
Louis, I swear I did.
Ah, but I know you did. You. Regrets. Nothing. And if that's all I have left to learn, I can do that on my own.
How was I?
You are dead, and you want me to quicken you once more. I must regretfully decline.
Sounds like could be a movie from a line from an Arnold movie. I must regretfully decline.
For years I wandered. Italy, Greece, but the world was a tomb to me. A graveyard full of broken statues, and each of those statues resembled her face.
It's like the statue we saw move in the beginning.
I left the old world and came back to my America. And there, a mechanical wonder allowed me to see the sun rise.
Movers.
Seen as the human eye could never see them.
Nosferatu.
Then, as the years progressed in tones of purple, red.
Is that Gone with the Wind?
Hey!
In the spring of 1988, I returned to New Orleans, only blocks from the Lafayette Cemetery. I caught the scent of death, a scent too faint for mortals to detect.
Lestat? Is he back?
Lestat. It's got to be Lestat. Ugh. You think they just have that out in a cemetery?
Oh.
It's our guy Lestat.
The old estate never burnt down, huh?
Not the
All
brick.
the Wade.
Yeah, the brick stayed.
Louis,
Louis.
I'm so glad you're here. I've dreamed of this moment. She never should have been one of us.
Ooh. He's looking rough.
Well, he's only been having rats.
Yeah.
Oh, looking real rough.
You remember how I was? No one could refuse me. Not even you.
I tried.
Yes, you tried. And the more you tried, the more I wanted you.
Oh, God. Stop it, Louis.
What is this?
Nice searchlights for people running around because they had the cops driving they showed.
It's false light. Can't harm me.
If you stayed with me, I could venture out again. Become the old Lestat.
I don't know if the new world's ready for that.
He's just gonna leave him there in the chair like that?
Whatever happened to Lestat, I do not know. I'm a spirit of preternatural flesh, unchangeable, empty. No, it can't end like that.
What people wouldn't give to be like, what I wouldn't give to be like you, to have your power, to be able to have seen the things that you've seen in your life. There's only one way I'll ever truly learn.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Do you like this? Oh, do you like dying? Stop.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, that was out the window. Ooh, convertible. Bad choice to avoid vampires.
We're gonna get the old sit up in the back seat.
1791 was the year it happened.
Good stuff.
Oh.
I assume I need no introduction.
Oh.
Oh, Louis. Still whining. I'm going to give you the choice I never had.
To be a version of Sympathy for the Devil?
Please allow me to introduce
Yep.
myself.
Sure enough. The Stones.
No, there is no.
Yeah, it was.
There's no post.
Oh, it's the Guns N' Roses version of Sympathy for the Devil. Nice.
Well, it is 94.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
All right.
at the beginning, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know if this didn't quite sound like the Mick Jagger. you know?
No, it's a version of the Stones. Oh.
Well, there ye have it. As it
Well,
started
it's
out.
been many years in the making, but finally saw Interview with the Vampire, or with a vampire. And this movie is so interesting because, look, Tom Cruise is he's just a treasure. However, I'm afraid that for me, the scenes that he was in, it was just like pure comedy, pure cheese the whole time. I couldn't take it seriously, the stuff that he was in. I don't know if it was, look, who am I to tell Tom Cruise how to act? I'm certainly not doing that one bit, but it was like the over the topness of it and the all the grandeur and everything. It's like, now if that's, I'm guessing that's how it was supposed to be done, but it was just so comedic and so funny, and just like the over the topness that Tom brought to the role of Lestat. So it's like you had that part of the movie where we were being introduced to him, and then we had where Brad Pitt's character Louis goes to France and he meets up with Antonio Banderas, Armand, and it almost felt like an entirely different movie, if that makes sense. Like they had the whole vampires doing the theater thing that they were doing, and it almost felt like a big theater type play to me, if that makes sense. As I was watching it, it kind of took a very different turn. And look, Antonio was great. As soon as you heard that voice, like you knew, we finally knew what it was. Louis was going down the tunnel there, and we saw the figure, and we thought, oh, is this it? This has got to be it. And it wasn't. It was somebody else. But then Antonio was in the background. But so again, it had that feel of two different movies. Look, the acting in here was top notch. I mean, you can have some fun with Tom Cruise's portrayal of the vampire being like over the top and campy and cheesy and whatever, but I don't know. It was funny. That was funny, but Antonio did great. Brad Pitt did awesome. I mean, the guy had a stack of dialogue this high for the whole movie, and a young version of Kirsten Dunst did absolutely phenomenal. And it's funny because we seen her in this now, and then we saw her most recently in Civil War, which I think is her most recent picture. I think so. It's just interesting seeing, her going through Hollywood and making all these movies. And I mean, she absolutely delivered a knockout performance in this. Kudos to her. I can see how she ended up in Spider-Man with those acting chops. But yeah, this one was out there. I'm not sure how faithful of an adaptation it was to the Anne Rice novel. I think some folks have said it's relatively accurate, but yeah, for me this was something else. Again, I'm not sure how I feel about it, because like I said, it feels like two different movies. I was entertained. I'm glad I saw it. I liked the story. I thought the story was interesting. Of a vampire, a guy who essentially lives forever. How does he adjust to the world that changes around him? It was interesting that Armand said most vampires can't handle it. He lived 400 years and he's one of the oldest. Most of them, I'm guessing, opt out in some way because they just can't handle that, either the change or the living forever or whatever it might be. Because that's always kind of something that we've seen in a handful of other vampire movies. It's like, okay, you're gonna live forever, but everybody you know is gonna be gone unless they're vampires, and you know that whole kind of struggle that you have to deal with. So yeah, I'm glad I saw it. I don't know if I need to watch this one again, but I'm glad I did it. I appreciated it for what it was, and gosh, anytime we get to see Tom Cruise acting like that, I'll watch it. Just the over-the-topness for sure.
All right, I'll go right ahead, because remember, I saw it.
I mean, I don't even know what to think of this movie.
Did it feel like two separate movies to you as well? I mean,
it's just weird. I'm really indifferent, I guess, is kind of like it was entertaining. But if I have to sit here and tell you whether I liked it or not, I don't even know. Like I have such a weird feeling after watching this film. It's like wild. It was entertaining. I don't know how else to explain it other than I found the movie entertaining, but I'm completely indifferent to it. As far as casting, look, in the 90s, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Antonio Banderas, Christian Slater. I did see in Answer Scrolling that River Phoenix was originally supposed to be Daniel, but passed shortly before filming was supposed to start. And there was also noted that Christian Slater did donate his earnings for the film to River Phoenix's favorite charities, which is pretty awesome. But it was interesting compared to some of the other vampire stuff that I've seen. Like sometimes the vampire stuff, it's, we saw Blade, which obviously was wildly over sensationalized with all the vampires and, the parties and everything, the dress, and, it was modern day, but they were still dressing like, the 16 or 1700s or whatever. It was a weird mix of like dark, like Louis was just like sad the whole time. We didn't see a lot of happiness. I mean, obviously we know that Claudia brought him a sense of happiness, but he looked like he never really enjoyed it, which is interesting because he kind of took that route to get away from the pain of losing his wife and his daughter. And he took this route to get away from the pain to hope that it would end it. And it didn't. It didn't end the pain. It didn't end the suffering. He didn't like living that life, where Lestat was very much the opposite. He loved it, right?
Yeah.
Going out. They said he was getting 3 a night.
Yeah.
He very much enjoyed going out and feeding and loved that nobody could turn him down or say no. So you had two very contrasting characters with very different I guess moral vampire codes.
Yeah, I mean, Louis had to live with that pain forever then.
Yeah, and it didn't go away. So I'm not going to try to dig too deep for lessons in this film because I don't know that they're necessarily there. It was very interesting with Claudia's character, as we saw her get turned as as a very young individual and stayed that way forever. So as challenging as it may be, I don't know, being a vampire, it comes along with a different set of challenges when you never stop being, in a child's body, which is interesting because when we watched Twilight, I think, Edward Cullen was, I believe, 17 or 18 in the film, who he was supposed to be, but he was, 120 years old or something like that.
1890 or something.
He at least stayed as, somebody, a teenager who could pass for an adult. So as he got to the point where he was cognitively and emotionally and from a maturity standpoint, able to handle adult stuff. He looked the part, as to where Claudia just was always going to be in a child's body.
It was interesting how her acting changed throughout the movie as she got older, as they kind of did a few time jumps. She kind of like grew up a little bit.
What a grand slam acting job by Kirsten Dunst. To be putting on that sort of performance at that age, especially given the subject matter, I thought was really impressive. So if there's anybody I'm super impressed with, it's Kirsten Dunst. This is a weird watch for me. Again, there was a lot of fun parts with Tom Cruise's character. He was, Lestat was very likable. Brad Pitt sold kind of like the somber, melancholy vampire who was always just, trying to find happiness but couldn't find it. And I don't know, man. This is like when you watch it, you get like why it drew so many people in. It was
a $60 million budget. It made 223 at the box office.
Even for the numbers that it made, this is one of those movies that has remained, even to this day. Well, here we are watching it, but it's remained, I don't even want to say a cult classic. It's remained kind of a staple in that vampire genre that I don't know some of the other vampire movies hold on to. Of course, the cast isn't going to hurt its ability to have that staying power, especially given that Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt have continued very succccessful careers. And I wonder if that's kind of part of it as well, because it's like you have a movie that comes out now 30 years ago or so, and the actors are revered but not as popular, where Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt have had very unique careers where they've been able to shift in their roles a little bit as they get older, although Tom Cruise just stays in the same role every movie.
Yeah, and like Tom was a heavy hitter in this one. Brad Pitt had only had bit parts, was mainly known for Thelma and Louise coming into it.
Yeah,
he started Cool World, which if you've seen that movie,
you're right.
I didn't
even think of that. 94, Brad Pitt. This would have been one of his early ones.
This was his breakthrough role.
Yeah. Can you pull up his
that's why I was
filmography for Brad Pitt?
So you're just looking at it like he is 94 is his,
runs through it 92. That was a good.
And then A True Romance, and then he had he had a bit part in California.
Yeah, that was good too.
Which is a good movie.
I've never seen A River Runs Through It, but I've heard it's really good.
It is very good. Well. And then he has his he's in Thelma and Louise as a bit part.
The cowboy with the hair dryer. All I know is the cowboy with the hair dryer.
And then he starred in Cool World, which was like a more adult, risque version of Roger Rabbit.
It looks like Roger Rabbit.
And I learned that right then and there in '92 as a 7-year-old. I'm like, this is another Roger Rabbit movie.
Okay. Well, moving forward, I guess you could say.
Yes,
but
after that.
I think he had established himself, if I remember correctly, as being an absolute heartthrob after Thelma and Louise.
Mm-hmm.
So, having him with the long hair, because did he have the long hair in A River Runs Through It?
I think he did. Yeah. Or maybe it.
Because there was one other. Wasn't there one other movie like that? Something where he's got longer hair.
Maybe Johnny Suede.
Blind.
Well, that he's got
blonde. Legends of the Fall is the other one I'm thinking. That's it. Answer has it up. Legends of the Fall. He's got the long.
Yeah. Those two, they're very similar yet different, and I've seen them both, but it's been a while.
Because after that, then he had 12 Monkeys.
The Devil's Own,
Meet Joe Black, Fight Club, Snatch. So that was like right after that is when he just started crushing.
He went on
Ocean's
a run.
11.
Troy, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12. Departed.
Yeah, so I think it shows how, like you said, these movies have staying power because of the actors that were in them, because everybody remembers that as like one of their first big hits, and it's so legendary. And of course you had Tom and Antonio and Christian Slater, Kirsten Dunst. So I think that's why it has that level of staying power. But I think because it is based off Anne Rice's novel, that it kind of hits the major vampire themes, right? Mm-hmm. Living forever. How are you going to interact? What about your loved ones? Is it a life you want to live?
And also just think about if we had watched, I did, that's where I equated some stuff with it, with Twilight. You saw Twilight first before you saw this. So then you started drawing your similarities between Twilight and I knew you would. Handsome lead.
It didn't feel like it had the cheat. Look, for as much as I love the Blade movies, the vampire stuff was we're talking next level cheese for the vampire stuff in the Blade, where this was done. The vampire stuff for me was significantly more artistic. And look, my vampire knowledge is pretty much like it's Twilight. It's I'm a huge Luke Evans fan. I think he's just like the fucking coolest, right? So I did go see his Dracula movie in the theater. But that was a little different than kind of some of your traditional vampire stuff. So my vampire experiences are limited, but again, I'm not trying to dog on Blade because obviously,
come on, the vampires in Blade were great.
Obviously, those are legendary films, but a little cheese there.
Well, maybe in the third one, but anyways, this isn't about.
Oh,
Blade.
jeez.
This is about.
So yeah, and then what was nice with this was right away he walks in. He's like, I loved when you're like, is this really an interview with a vampire? It's like, yeah, and right away, garlic doesn't really work. The crucifixes don't work.
Yeah,
the reflection
in the mirror. Well, we did Underworld too,
and then
all the Underworld.
And so then some other stuff where he's like, he did that, and like after this long story where he was talking about his torment and everything and how he kind of hated himself for a living, like Daniel Malloy, Christian Slater, still wanted the powers. He still wanted it. He still wanted to experience it. And and it's like, do you?
There was that draw,
because
right?
like that was the hardest part for Louis, was his moral dilemma. Is he still had his moral dilemma about taking out lives that he felt were innocent. I mean, look at even Robert Pattinson, what he, like in Twilight, he took out a bad guy. That's who he took out.
Yeah,
that was his last,
that's what we said.
And so that's how Louis was perceived as this too. And I mean, he didn't want to take her life, and then that's where Lestat would be like, don't worry, I did it for you. All that stuff.
It was interesting that at the end Daniel still wanted that, and it's like I get like the kind of the mystique and just the draw of immortality and being young forever, and but at the same time, like the closest I think you could imagine is like, think about the hungriest you've ever been, like ever, like the worst hunger you've ever had, and to have that be 24/7 if you're not out there deleting people.
Yeah.
It's like that's what you have to do.
That's what we call a serial
killer. To be out there deleting people. And it's worth noting at least that in 1200s, 1500s, 1700s, heck, even 1800s, feeding on random people might have been a little easier to get away with.
Yeah.
So
from a crime
you
standpoint.
move forward into the mid 90s, and now
CCTV
now
everywhere,
with
phones,
cameras and phones
everything.
Look, I've seen enough documentaries on Netflix. You can't get away with anything anymore.
You can't get
away with anything anymore.
CCTV everywhere, that's where it's always going to catch you.
Those guys down in Florida when they were eating people's faces. Who knows what that really was? You never know.
Carrying on.
Know. Thanks for bringing that up.
For those who might have forgot.
I suppose.
I didn't forget. Oh, score time.
I don't even know what score to.
Yep, that is.
I don't even know what score to give this film. I don't.
It's very conflicting, but I think I can go first here. I think I got this guy dialed in. Look, at the end of the day, for me. Oh, you want this, Louis?
Yes, I must have it.
You must have the erasure.
And now I shall receive it.
The erasure.
Erasure.
For me, this is a 3.8 out of 5 answers. And look, I'm giving it that score because I liked the story. I was entertained. Tom Cruise was over the top cheese. Yes, he was. But Kirsten Dunst crushed it. Brad Pitt crushed it. Antonio was great. I mean, other than that, like, look, it's a vampire movie. It's going to have elements of cheese, especially when you're dealing with the time frame that they were in or the time period they were in, you're going to have a little bit of that, whether it's the way they're talking or whatever. I mean, we had the incident near the river with the old woman and the poodles, and they cut the screen and
that was great.
Pitt's eating on the poodles.
That was great. The Cruise is just laughing at him.
Yeah, so I mean, it had that. I can see why people like this movie, and I can see why people think it's ridiculous. So for me, 3.8.
Yeah, this is the weirdest score I've ever had to give a movie because, as I said, I'll say it one last time, I found it entertaining, but I'm also kind of indifferent. And so going over all the things that made it unique, the performances and everything else, I'm going to go with a 4.25. This was more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. Not that, and of course now I have to look back and think Brad Pitt was early, so it's not like he had his pick of the litter as far as roles. But if Tom Cruise was in it, even at that time, and that wasn't super far into Tom Cruise's career either in '94. Obviously, he had some of the big '80s ones with Top Gun, A Cocktail, Risky Business, and some very successful movies. But that was early-ish, still kind of. But 4.25 for me. I mean, this was it was a unique film, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was always a treat for me to watch. This was fun to watch again with you guys. Obviously, it's a solid 4 for me. The acting was great. How they did the timepieces, how they did the time jumps, everything was just, I thought, very well done. And obviously, it was great acting jobs done by Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise and Kirsten Dunst, and even the little bit of Christian Slater that we got to see in him.
Yeah.
So this was a lot of fun.
Fun watch. A lot
more fun than
Don't
Twilight.
say it. Don't
so
say
for
it.
Appleton Oak, that's Mason
Not the
Quinn.
first one.
I'm of course the answer.
Not better than Blade.
Catch you on the next one.
Wow.
Pals.
Of course not.